nothing can go wrong. I mean, even things that go wrong, there are lessons in life, and you can learn from them and move forward.
Right. And let's talk a little bit. I know you were saying, it's a tough economic time. It was when you started.
Sure.
It is now.
Absolutely.
And it's a business like any other business. How are you dealing? How is the broadcasting company dealing?
I think we keep it everything where we don't exaggerate things in life and our business, the way we run things. We keep them very close. It's a close-knit family, and of course, business at times can be challenging.
Right.
But we've done well.
You've been doing all right.
Absolutely. And Corpus Christi is a unique market. We have refineries, we have the base, we have different industries that support us, and maybe the woes that the rest of the country perhaps is feeling, it hasn't trickled down here yet.
And hopefully won't.
Slowly it is to some, but Corpus is a healthy market.
It's doing good. And what about, let's say you make it internationally, that's all well and good, but are you prepared for the growth of the company itself?
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's an idea that we'll get there at this point. Right now, we got to test Houston.
Oh yeah.
And once we get into Houston and cross that bridge and we launch into a national level, then we'll investigate other options in order for us to be even a bigger and stronger company, to be able to do things, perhaps partner with another bigger company. The bigger companies are always looking, people don't realize, but Univision, Telemundo is owned by NBC, and a lot of these major networks are partnered with other baby companies, and basically they're under their umbrella. So maybe that's a concept that we will investigate and see if we can bring into fruition. But at first, you got to get to the field
one
first.
step at a time.
Yeah,
one step at a time.
you got to be able to play. And Corpus was a very good market for us. San Antonio is a wonderful market for us. On Channel 21 in San Antonio, it's a great market for us. But Houston is different. Houston is an idea where people are going to be watching to see what reaction the market has. Do more subscribers jump into this Spanish digital tier in order for them to watch Tejano TV? They want their Tejano TV. They want TMV. And if the numbers are there, well, the numbers they don't buy.
Right.
So folks in Philadelphia are going to be watching this and saying, wow, they did. What they said was going to happen, it happened. We see, maybe we can consider them into the other markets, maybe in California and Arizona and other markets that they're in, because they're the biggest cable company in the United States.
Wow, and I guess all this stuff is going on behind the scenes, and people watching their TV maybe don't realize the fights that are out there to get whatever's on their TV,
Absolutely. And I think this is still a very unique idea. One would say, well, but there's already the Mundos, there's a MTV3, everything's there already. Not necessarily. Look what you're watching, and that's not us. That's not our music. The reggaeton, the salsa merengue, that's not really us. We're different than that. I'm telling you, the people in Houston, it's going to basically represent the entire nation, because you have, like I said, Salvadoreños, Guatemala, you have a lot of Mexicanos in Mexico as well, and a lot of Tejanos that have been there for many years as well. So that's going to give us a great way to program the station and see what happens. Let's roll the dice. Let's go. Come on.
and let's talk a little bit about the digital change. I mean, people have pretty much gotten sick talking about this. It's on all the time. But how does it affect you?
Well, on our television stations, the ones that we own, they're low-power televisions, and we're in the process of doing that.
Okay.
Not like the high-power TV stations that are required by law in order for them to do the conversion. But we're in the process as well. As soon as the high-power stations are done, then we're next. And let's see what happens. And that's the whole idea. KTMV, our station in Corpus Christi, is a low-power station. So in order for us to convince TCI and Time Warner and others to put us on the system was pretty amazing as well, because under federal law, they're not entitled to put any low-power television stations on at all. So you better have a very good, interesting concept in order for them to put you on.
And are there any important things going on right now? Any plans you have you want to let us in on? Anything you're planning?
Well, at this point, we want to continue to try to expand a little bit more in radio. And, going back in 1989 when we went and put one of the first Spanish FMs in the country, we were here in this market. We were the first to do Spanish AM and FM as well, and then Spanish and AM and FM and TV.
a little bit of everything.
We do a little bit of everything, but it's not work for us. It's, Mireya, and to the audience as well, it's never been work for us. It's a passion. We have a passion for this. We believe that God gave us these instruments, and we have to utilize them, and utilize them in the best interests of the public and ourselves. And we never take it for granted. We're very grateful every day. Either I have $1 in my pocket, or I have $1,000 in my pocket, or it doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that we maintain, that we continue to broadcast, and doors continue to be open for us.
And talk to me about some of the doors that you're maybe trying to open for the Mexicanos and Mexican Americans here.
I like to see Tejano radio come back again in markets that doesn't exist at this point, i.e. Houston, Dallas. A lot of them have gone to regional Mexican, and people say, well, why is that the case? Well, because big companies bought these radio stations, and they changed it.
I think that's the case even in Austin. I remember having a conversation with you once.
Absolutely.
Where
we were supposed to apply for Club 92 in Austin. And as a matter of fact, we're very, very close to coming back into Austin as well. We own KOMO in San Antonio. And let's talk about the other radio stations. And some of the radio stations that we've been able to accomplish and do. Magic 105, which was, of course, the mom of everything. And then KINE 1330 AM. From there, we went to Magic KHMC, Magic 95.9 in Victoria. And we're very fortunate to do that. And then we got KXTM, Tejano 107.7 here in Corpus Christi, in Benavides. And then very fortunate to own KLMO, K Alamo 98.9 and 93.3 in the city of San Antonio. It's like 100,000 watt FM station. It's a big station.
And that's very impressive. San Antonio is a big place.
It's a very big market. And I've been talking about basically Corpus Christi because this is where we live. But we've been able to accomplish that in radio in San Antonio. And San Antonio is a huge market for radio and television. And we always stay grounded. There's no need for somebody to be, okay, I got this and this. No. Stay true to who you are. Don't pretend to be something that you're not. And be humble at all times. People will love you more, and you'll be a whole lot happier.
That's a good thing. And
think so.
I think an interesting thing you mentioned, though, was, you have... It started in AM stations, all the Tejano, the Spanish music, and you still have an AM station. Then you stepped to FM and then TV, but all that other stuff, all the steps are still there.
Absolutely.
And that's something that's important to you then.
Oh, yeah. When we went on the air in 1989, Mireya, we were very fortunate. And I say fortunate, and maybe in these times people would say, now the world, the iPods, I mean, this might sound a little crazy to some, but when we went on the air in 1989, we went on the air with records. We were playing records on the air.
Big giant vinyls. Oh my goodness.
Vinyls, and we had to queue up the records and then get it on the air. Everything was manual, and somebody needed to be there 24 hours a day.
Wow.
You couldn't leave, because the station's on the air. And from there, we went into cassettes, of course. People were doing the cassettes, and then the evolution of CDs. Oh my goodness, what is this? Music's here, so no more records. We don't need the turntables anymore. So we play. So things are a whole lot easier. Now everything's on computer. You can have a little iPod like this and run a radio station on a little thing that's a few minutes. As far as the music is concerned. And it's amazing to see it evolve in that. So it's an interesting curve, and it's an interesting thing to see the broadcasting, how it's evolved.
I bet it gets expensive though, because I buy an iPod, but you have to buy other equipment.
Yeah, we buy computers.
Wow.
Computers, transmitters, towers, antennas. It is a major undertaking, and sometimes you have to deal with Mother Nature as well. that plays havoc with you and takes you off the air, and equipment that you have to buy. And